Today's topic is going to be mojo, and you're going to probably hear something from me you're not going to believe. As much as I badmouth the Chinese, I study their culture because they have a lot of wisdoms, and they wouldn't be as innovative. I compliment them sometimes too when you hear me in some of my commentary. Okay, what a mojo means is you think things through. It's a natural phenomenon that the way you thought it should go, it came natural. It just happens. And that's what we did here. We welded up the bed and we fixed all the boo-boos, and we'll soon be ready after the rocker panels on the other side. I've been fighting this weather, and this is the problem. You have a lot of work. The door's got to come off. It's got some bumps and some scrapes, and then you have other stuff. This one I want to take a little more time with it. Like I said, I have that luxury. Not to mention getting the Herman Munster. We just cut panels for him and the monsoons came again. Your mojo is your most important weapon when you're doing one of these trucks. You are not going to have it go the way you want it to unless you think it through. And when you're fighting a lot of weather and a lot of other things, and you have a lot of other projects like that bike that we had here that's all twisted up, it's in the other video. I'm going to try to run all these videos off on YouTube tonight. The tip of the day is you guys that are mixing urethanes and epoxy primers. I don't have anything out here besides my cigarette and the fiberglass, but when you have a can, say this is your mud or your paint or whatever, you say your primer, and it's 2 or 3 parts, do not stick your stir. I just had a question of what I did wrong. It was this guy's first attempt. My video inspired him, and he vexed himself. A lot of people don't realize if you mix the hardeners and the components together, don't stick it back in the can, because you're going to get a surprise when you take it out. That's just the way it works. That's your Pennsylvania Dutch uncle's tip, is don't stick the same paint stir in, and use your mojo. Think things through before you do them. Cut your pieces, take your time. Don't try to do it all at once. The rain was a blessing in a way, because I got to cut panels for Herman Munster. I got to fit a lot of things that I necessarily couldn't have took my time with, but it's a pain in the ass when it's raining off and on. It's getting on with the work and getting it on and getting it done so you can get other projects done. I have my other truck there to as you can see, it's starting to get some naughties around the bottom there, and it's time to pay some attention to it. So there are other things that are not necessarily in your mind, but you have to get them done, and you can't rush. You just got to let it happen natural. If you don't get it done one year, you'll get it done the next. The trailer turned out okay. We built John's trailer, Giuseppe. The pizza dude has a trailer now. He wants to put the wood on it. He put a lot of stain and a lot of work into the wood, even though it doesn't last more than 3 or 4 years anymore from Lowe's. But that is my tip of the day, is use your mojo. It'll turn out if you think it through and take your time. Okay? And that term came from, a lot of people say it came from Tojo and all that. It may very well have. Chinese history, though, documents a spirited part of you where things come natural if you think them through. And that's really what happens to me, is I just think the way I want to do something, and then I just go ahead and do it. And usually it turns out just like that. So thanks for watching my videos, guys. I'm getting a lot of comments. John, you called me late last night, a guy from San Antonio, Texas. He didn't realize the time zone, because I was already in bed when the phone rang. I just laid down and drifted off a little bit, and the phone rang, and there was almost an hour and a half difference. So it was probably maybe about 9 o'clock there, and it was probably about 10, maybe 10:30 here. I really didn't even look at the clock. I just conked out. All right, enough is enough. Use your mojo. And as I said, as much as I badmouth the Chinese, part of their culture is manufacturing and getting things done, and I admire that. It's just the communist business practices and slave labor and the way they treat their children and their wives. I just don't agree with it. So, all right, folks, enough.